Toto, what did you say to George?
You know, as a team, we had so many situations where it was bittersweet. You're extremely happy for one driver and deserving, and then you feel gutted for the other one. So that is difficult. But in any case, Kim has done a splendid job today and deserved the win. But George, shame, he was in the lead of the race. We half enjoyed watching them, how they fought it out, and we wish we would have had a one and a two.
How much do you think this great racing was circuit specific, or is it what we can expect from the regulations for the rest of the season? And is this now the new style of racing we're going to see?
I think sneezing.
Bless you.
I think it was circuit specific, that it was particularly good. There will be more difficult ones. But, you know, we keep saying this for a long time, and every single race was in itself good entertainment. And so it was today again. So I've always said it, we need to dissect those rules with a scalpel and make it better rather than overshooting or undershooting and make it actually worse, because it's, like you say, you enjoyed that.
Were you rubbing your hands when McLaren decided to start on the Inters?
Well, you know, you don't want to be. I believe in karma, so that's maybe not good. It was interesting because putting two cars on a tire that looked like a big gamble, when it was clearing up, was we kind of didn't understand. But you know, that could pay off massively. Also.
How close were you though? I mean, was it? I mean, it was
not close at all.
You weren't. Okay.
It was when the tire decision was taken. It was the worst of the rain that we have seen, and then it was clearing up behind.
And with regards to Kimi, obviously incredible performance all weekend considering everything, and he seems to be going from strength to strength. Every win he gets, gaining more confidence. We're now going into the European season where he seemed to struggle last year. Do you see him just growing in confidence, and do you see him just getting stronger and stronger?
Well, absolutely. I mean, he's won 4 races in a row and has 40-odd points lead in the championship. You've got to be confident. I nevertheless don't think that this is going to run away with him. I think he's just very, you know, settled in what he does. The environment in the team is good around him. So I don't see the risks of the situation that we had last year in Europe.
Toto, did you get any specifics on you know, the nature of the PE failure on George's?
Yeah, it looks like a module failure, so a battery failure, because the car was literally going dark. There was no electricity anymore in the car.
Okay, and I just want one final one on the 43-point gap. I mean, you've been keeping Kimi's feet on the ground all the time, but that's significant now. George is going to have to work extremely hard to catch him up. I know it's still early days, but presumably it's just carry on racing as you will.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's a 40-point or 43-point gap, but there is how many? 17 more races to go. There's so many points to score. That this is going to go all the way to the end. Hopefully with both of our cars in the mix, hopefully with none other car in the mix. So we just got to chip away, and George will rebound. I have no doubt about it.
Well, it was very entertaining for half the race. So congratulations, but also commiserations as well.
If it had been against 2 competitors, like we've discussed yesterday quite a lot, that Kimi would have been asked to give the position back. So I think from the team that was pretty fair, particularly these teams, they watch their own onboards quite extensively. So I think they were right to get into that quickly before it started to really kick off on the radio with back and forth from George about it. So good quick decision from Mercedes there.
Well, I don't know if you particularly enjoyed about today. It's still so raw, isn't it, from Kimi, the way that he was attacking constantly George, and George just having to lean on all of his experience, isn't he?
He was a serious thorn in the side of George in that race. And a little bit is this new regulations with how that they're able to stay closer and when they're within that 1 second. And clearly with the gust of winds that they had into turn 10, it was making it tricky for both of them. But still, he is so raw, but so, in terms of his speed, so natural clearly. So it's going to be interesting for the rest of the year.
It is, but George has got a problem now that he needs to solve, and solve quickly, because 43 points, as we said, is a significant gap. No.
That's a good sight. Is it a good feeling?
Oh, amazing feeling. Oh, I want to say I'm so happy. Oh, it's good day. Good day of racing, and overall just a really solid weekend. I've felt on the up all weekend, and the team have done a really amazing job, just really refining the car, and for us to be up there battling, and also to have a good battle with Max as well, finally. So I'm really, really grateful, and yeah, just so happy. I love this job. It's like the greatest job in the world, and I never take that for granted.
The move on Max was fantastic because we were all watching and you had to think, well, actually, can I do this differently now and make the move? And it looked like Lewis of old. Did it feel like, I know you think he's never gone away, but do you know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean. But I think there are so many elements that have to come together to get the car in the right place. And I think I finally have that with the engineers that I've got and the whole setup within the team, and I really hope that I can continue on with this performance. I'm much happier and more comfortable in the car, and it feels more like it used to be. So, but wow, it's so hard in the race to overtake. These guys, they have more power on the straight, so every time I gain speed through the corner, they gain it back on the straight. And you have to, I've never known something so difficult. It's like 10 times harder than normal because you have to, you're calculating how much battery power you have at the end of one straight and the next straight and the next straight, and trying to make, and each time you're like guesstimating what you're going to have. It's like, it's not great, but it is what it is, and I'm grateful that I was able to finally make it past him.
Great to see you smile. Thank you. Charles, what potential did your car have looking back at that race now today after everything that's happened? Do you think if things had gone your way, you'd maybe pitted a lap earlier on the first VSC?
I think there's no blame to put on anybody else other than me, honestly. It's been a nightmare of a weekend. I've been struggling like crazy. Since FP1, the problem has been the same, and unfortunately I couldn't find any solution, which is not nice, but the confidence is everything on a track like this with those bumps, and putting the tires in the right window is everything. And I thought that today on the race with multiple laps it would be a lot better, but I never put the tires in the right window, and yeah, I had zero confidence. What was possible with the car, I think Lewis did an incredible job, and I don't think there was much in the car if you look where Lewis is today. So I think second was the very best we could do as a team. I couldn't achieve that this weekend 100%, but Lewis did an incredible job.
How much does the team need to benefit from the additional development uplift if it qualifies for it? Will that make a big difference, do you think?
Well, it needs it, obviously, to try to go and win races. We need those developments, but to be honest, it's not been, if I look at Lewis more than me this weekend, as a team I think we've been relatively competitive. If you see that Mercedes have brought a completely new package, surely it's not enough, and we cannot be satisfied with that, but we are pushing flat out in order to bring upgrades as early as possible, and hopefully that will make a difference.
Thank you, thanks very much.
What did you call Lewis on the radio at the end? Old G?
Luigi.
Luigi. Okay. He's Luigi. I like it. Good. Well, he deserved that. He deserved that today. Great result.
Yeah, no, it was a very strong performance. The conditions mega difficult. If you were losing temperature, it was you were struggling to recover and to come back, and he was able to push from the beginning to the end. He was in confidence, and he did a very strong race and strong weekend overall.
Okay, and Charles, maybe did he lose too much time when Hadjar got him at the VSC?
Perhaps yes, but overall, I think on Charles' side, on this side of the garage, it's more a matter of confidence of the weekend. He struggled much more than Lewis all over the weekend, and in this condition it's good to bring the car back in at the end to score good points, and let's come back stronger next week.
Okay, just a bigger picture question about Lewis. He started the weekend in the press conference. I'm sure you heard him saying, look, I am here next year. I have a contract for next year. I'm here for more beyond that. I guess from your point of view, when he's putting in performances like this, that's easy to...
But all of this is just about rumors, gossips, and so we don't have to comment or to answer to this. We know what we are doing. We know that we have a clear target, a clear goal we are pushing together as a team. Then you can elucubrate whatever you want, but it's...
No, I meant he's saying, he is here next year, and with the form that he's in, he likes these cars, then that's great to go forward with him.
For sure.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, Ted, don't write him off. Not that he was, but I think what he was alluding to, which perhaps Fred didn't get there, was that coming into the weekend, there were talks, he was having to answer questions about his future, and then old Luigi answered in the way old Luigi can, by sticking in a performance like that, his best of his Ferrari career.
Luigi, is that going to stick? But yeah, you know, it's fantastic result for Lewis. I think he has looked strong all weekend. Obviously, they took advantage of the opportunity that was given with the two McLarens, but they did the right thing. The car looked strong, and he managed to get the most out of it. You know, he had to get that overtake done on Max Verstappen.
Gaining in the corners, and that's going to be, again, it's down to the architecture of their engine, the way this car performs. But yeah, you managed to maximise that today.
He did, but you can't have everything. They've gone down that route for a reason, and we've seen the benefit of that sort of philosophy with the car, with the fast starts and the fast first laps, and I think a lot of corner exits and situations like that where they seem to benefit from this small turbo. Their chassis does look good, but it does feel like you can't have everything all at once, and if you do, then you know you're going to be dominating. So I think they've committed to that philosophy. It'll be interesting to see how things might change as we hear of any regulation changes, particularly regarding the Mercedes and compression ratios and everything we've spoken about all before. But I think just in terms of today, I think Lewis made a big difference with his love of this track and how well he goes around here. I think you look at the difference and the delta between him and Charles. I think he really did make a difference today as a driver, and I think that's what's carried him up to that podium today, obviously as well as Ferrari, but he made the difference today.
So can we have a listen into the team radio of Charles Leclerc? Because as I mentioned, it was 34 seconds between them, and Charles a little bit grumpy today.
I think absolutely critical.
i.e., don't tell me how well Lewis is doing.
Well, yeah, don't tell me how well Lewis is doing. I don't want lap times of others. He was largely out on his own, I think, at that point. He had Hadjar, I guess, maybe closing him a little bit. But he just wanted to get on with it. He knew he was struggling with the car. He knew he struggled a little bit all weekend. Like Fred said, it's about getting the tyre temperature, and he just wanted to focus and not hear all the surrounding stuff. But, you know, then regularly a few laps after that we hear, why have you not told me about that incident? It's been a struggle this weekend for Charles, and like Jamie said, that's come down to driver confidence at this track.
Still fourth, which is better than could be said for the McLarens. They got it wrong at the start with their tyre choice.
Hi Lando, can you tell us what the problem was, and was it related to the reason you had to pit for reliability early on as well, or not?
I don't think so. I don't actually know. But there was a lot of bits of metal in places they shouldn't have been when I got out. So, something happened that shouldn't happen. So,
bits from your car.
From my car, of course. The pit stop before, I have no idea what it was. I just got told to box. So, highlight was obviously the first lap, and then I went out with a bang, literally. So that was, just not our day, I guess, from a decision point of view. I guess we made the decision as a team. I also pushed for it, so I kind of take the responsibility for that one. But also we as a team, just I don't think we had the pace today anyway. Like I couldn't even get the front tires to get above 70 degrees. I struggled a lot, and I think we were just not in a good position in such cold temperatures today. So a shame. Just not a lot of things went our way today. So we take it on the chin and we learn, and we come back stronger.
Was there a discussion at all about whether or not it was worth coming in and getting rid of those inters and sitting behind Lance in the pit lane to try and avoid
it's tough. I still came out ahead of cars, so it wasn't like I came out last. So the pit stop is one of the shortest of the season. Don't know. No one knows these things in a way. But that's Formula One, right? Sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you're gonna go make these decisions, and of course it worked for a lap and a half. And if there was a safety car, things like that could have worked even more to our benefit, but just not to be today. So, we learn from the mistakes, and we see what we can do better next time.
Thank you. Reading all my notes about you from the race, it was pretty eventful for you in the end.
It was very eventful,
Let's start with the start and the choice of intermediate tyres. Can you talk us through how that decision was made? And
it was raining, and between the anthem and getting in the car, it was pretty wet on the ground. In all honesty, there was definitely no standing water, but it was, you could clearly tell where it was wet and where it was dry. and getting to the grid was not easy on slicks. Getting to full throttle was pretty tough. Unfortunately for us, it stopped raining as the formation lap started, basically. So just one of those things where if it rained a little bit more, we would have looked like heroes, but it didn't, so we looked like idiots. So just one of those things.
When you did pit and you came out and you dropped all those places, was there a sense of trying to catch up, essentially? Is that why in the end you had the collision with Alex? Can you talk us through that?
A little bit, but I mean, it was just so difficult out there. I felt like I was going into the corner pretty carefully and locked the front, and then that was it. So obviously not my finest moment, and apologies to Alex and Williams, because it was unnecessary damage for both of us, especially for them. So just one of those things.
Thanks very much. Thanks.
Alex Albon obviously just a victim of that, but I think Martin Brundle said it really well in commentary. There are days like this where you make your own luck, and everything that went wrong in McLaren's day sort of escalated from that decision to start on the intermediate. That's what put them out of position. And Oscar Piastri should never be racing Alex Albon in that point of the race. So obviously the reliability issues that happened for Lando could have happened anyway, but a lot of that racing in the midfield, even the reliability issues where they have to take debris out of the car, that is more of a risk in the midfield, because that's where you pick up those bits of debris and those incidents.
Unravelled. That's the word, isn't it?
Unravelled. Yeah, I agree. I think it's exactly that. When you're out of position and not where you should be, you're fighting the wrong people, everything kind of unravels. So, obviously feel for Alex Albon as well, because his weekend from FP1 with the Marmot has just been a bit of a write-off, unfortunately.
Absolutely right. Third and fifth for the Red Bull drivers. Let's start with Max Verstappen.
Hi Max, what sort of car did you have in the end today, and did you ever think you'd be fighting for P2?
No, for sure not, but also of course because of the retirement of George, normally the two Mercedes cars would have taken off. For us of course a positive result. I think on the soft we were a little bit more competitive. On the medium I just couldn't generate the tire temp that we needed around here, and that then didn't give us the good feeling on the tires. They were just never really gripping, they were never in the window, and that's why I think on that stint it was just a bit more difficult for us, but nevertheless I think we had a good result for us to be on the podium.
There's some quotes that came out from yesterday saying it's not mentally doable for me to stay like this with the power units the way they are. What sort of percentage would you like, do you feel, then? If we're at 50-50, they're looking at 60-40, 70-30, where would you like it to get
the minimum
to be
that they try to get to for next year? That's the minimum.
Which is?
The 60-40.
60-40. You'd be happy with
That's
that, would
the
you?
minimum. Yeah.
The very minimum.
Yeah.
Are you serious about that in terms of it's just not something you enjoy or want to do then? If it's
the thing is, of course, I know how pure other motorsports can feel like, so then when you come back to this, it's just, not very nice. I don't want to be too negative now after a race like this, but I know what it feels like to drive pure racing cars and pure overtakes, pure racing and just natural driving. This is all a bit like, especially qualifying, like very anti-driving, anti-racing.
Yeah.
And that's not what Formula 1 should be about. So I really hope that next year we can get that 60-40, because that will naturally help everything a bit.
Great stuff, thank you. I think I know how you're probably going to be feeling, but I'll let you tell me. I know there were the penalties there. In the end, the second one didn't make a difference to your position change. But how would you sum it up? And do you understand the penalties, why they were given?
Yes. So that's not the issue. Honestly, it's just about where has the pace gone, because yesterday I felt awesome, whether it was the sprint or the qualifying, and now today I was really struggling. I felt like at the start everything was coming together, I was following the train nicely, and then suddenly it's like the track kept being slippery for me. I could never find the grip, and it was so unpredictable, and having to keep it on track while fighting with the car was very draining.
How do you find those answers? Is it sitting down with the team and just going through everything over the next few weeks? Do you go to the simulator? What do you do?
Everything I can until I have an answer, because I'm not happy.
I want to pick up on Max's comments. Obviously he said he didn't want to be too negative, but I think what he doesn't want is to be held to ransom, or anyone to be held to ransom on this moving to 60-40 next year. I mean, I don't know if he's using it as a kind of a veiled threat, his participation, but clearly, he's not enjoying it right now, but if it was 60-40, he might do, and maybe he's using that as a bargaining chip to make sure that it gets forced through with a couple of manufacturers against it.
Look, there are a few drivers in this pit lane who have enormous stand-in and a voice in this sport, and Max Verstappen is one of those people. He uses that voice within Red Bull to get to do things like race the Nordschleife. He's using that voice to bring the direction of the future of the sport in a direction that he thinks is positive for him and the sport, positive for his enjoyment and the sport as a whole. So he's been pretty strong on it. I think his only slight weakness was a few days ago when he said he was going to stay because he committed to it, but he's been pretty strong on it, and fair play to him for making that point on something that he feels really, really strongly about.
I agree. That said, if Max was in that fight and the Red Bull found themselves in a position where they could be on a par with Mercedes, whether that's in the engine, chassis, everything, I think this would be awesome. I think that would have been really cool to see the Red Bulls, the Mercedes, the Ferraris, McLarens all in the mix together. Okay, we're at the beginning of a development change, and that's why we're seeing Mercedes with this advantage. But I want to see good racing, and I thought we saw that today. So I think, yes, it would be good to go 60-40, but I also think Max is frustrated with the fact that the team and the car isn't where it should be.
Okay, there we go. We're going to take a short break, our last one. And when we return, we'll hear from our race winner.
Thank you for waiting, because I always want to talk to you when you have a race like that. I asked you yesterday what's happened recently to get these performances out of you, but today you put in a fantastic performance again.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm really happy. Very proud of the team, very proud of the factory back in Enstone. Everyone has done a very big effort to put both cars in the points today. All the performance, all the upgrades that they are bringing, all the team here on track, the effort that everyone has been doing, it really shows that it's paying off, and I'm very happy for that. To be honest, they all deserve it very much. We maximize the weekend. I think every session we maximize it really well. The car was performing well every session as well, but we made the right choices. It was a tricky decision as well in the start with some people on the inter, some people on the softs. We went for the mediums. It was also a risky decision, but we went through the process and we did the right choices. So very happy. Of course, that P6 is very good, but it's not where we are at. At the end of the day, both McLarens are behind, and also George. So we should have been behind today, but we need to bring much more performance and much more upgrade somehow, and we need to understand what we need to improve in the car. But of course, we take the P6 with both hands. It is my best ever result in F1, and I'm very happy for it. But it's not the same feeling that when you do it all on merit. We have 3 cars in front at the DNF. So yeah, we keep pushing. Hopefully, the next one can be even better than P6.
Wow. Take you to the circus every week, shall we? How was that? I mean, you had a tough start and then you had to claw your way back through. You must be pleased.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a very complicated weekend. So, at the end, I'm definitely taking these 4 points and kind of damage limitation after the struggle this weekend. So I think there's a lot of work in front of us in the coming weeks before Monaco, but I'm definitely taking these 4 points.
Do you understand what needs to change for you? Do you understand what the struggles are essentially that can be resolved?
Yeah, it's very clear what's happening. We just got to understand where it comes from and kind of the causes from it. So I think it's been very clear all weekend with the team, and we quite we just know we got to dig, work, and just get the car back in the similar places it was a couple of weeks ago. Thank you.
Nevertheless, good salvage operation after his worst qualifying of the year.
Yes, super impressive. I mean, I think if you actually look at what happened in that race, the amount that started on the wrong tyre or had issues, it was a case of survival and getting through it. But still, I think Alpine have got to be very pleased with that, especially Franco. I think P6 for him, the last few races, he's just turned something around, and just that confidence for him is going to be so crucial for the next few races.
Buenos Aires, here we come.
I'm
wishing him every success because I want to go to Buenos Aires.
Everyone who went to the Colin Pinto shoot in Buenos Aires said it's one of the best places I've ever been, so I can't wait to go there.
Exactly. Right, shall we wrap things up with the race winner, Kimi Antonelli, the Sky Power.
Complimenti. fantastic job. 4 in a row. Kimi, do you know you're the first driver in F1 history to have won their first 4 races consecutively? That's an amazing record.
Yeah, I mean, it was, to be fair, you know, this win is nice, but not really the way I wanted to win, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like would have been very interesting to see how the fight would have ended up, because we're definitely going at each other, and we were very close. I think I had a little bit the upper end at the end of that stint, but it was very difficult condition. I think we both had flat spot. To be fair, I had the front left flat spot when I almost went in the back of him, and then I had the right flat spot. So we both had big lockups, and it was very tricky, but we were like enjoying each other, you know, we were enjoying ourselves, and
yeah,
we were
I was going to say,
pushing.
did you enjoy it? It felt like a junior formula race almost. Like,
Yeah,
we
no.
loved watching it in the commentary box.
We were pushing. We were absolutely pushing, and we were going for it because we both really wanted to win, and yeah, we were just trying to do our best to put ourselves in the best position. So definitely, you know, was a good battle. Of course, it was a shame for him to have the issue, but we'll take the win, and now we move forward.
I mean, did you, while you were doing the battle, were you kind of waiting for the phone call to say, okay, enough? Because a couple of times, like you said, at the final chicane and even turn 1, it was a bit edgy.
Yeah, I think it's still, in few occasions, it was a bit borderline. Especially in that last chicane, because I mean, I was ahead going into the corner, but I had to like open up because otherwise we would have collided. So for sure, it was a little bit on the edge, but it's what it is. And as I said, now we move forward, and next one is going to be Monaco.
And what are your feelings going to Monte Carlo? Obviously, you know, 4 victories in a row. What do you think about Monaco? Because a lot of people are talking about Ferrari with the car characteristics and the smaller turbo. They could be strong there. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Ferrari is going to be the team to beat in Monaco. And it's going to be very interesting how we do there. But for sure, Ferrari is the favorite because obviously also with that winglet they have in the back is giving them a lot of downforce at low speed. So for sure it's going to be interesting. But you know, I'll try to do my best to put myself in the best position and to achieve the best result as possible.
Well, listen, thank you for entertaining us because that was a brilliant opening part of the race. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well done. Thank you.
And finally, good start.
Yeah.
Yeah, and well done to our cameraman Kieran as well, who can walk backwards upstairs and still open doors as well and still do the camera work. So well done to him. Right, there we go. That is Kimi Antonelli. Well, they're preparing for the photo down here. 2 massive bottles of Moet Chandon as well. The champagne is at the ready, so we'll hope we won't get soaked. We'll move away, shall we? Let's just move away out of that because that always happens. But let's just concentrate on Kimi and just, you know, what he's achieving and where he's come from. As we mentioned, it's no mean feat.
It's not, and everything that he's going on to do this season already is exceeding, I think, everyone's expectations. Partially because we knew the benchmark of George was so high. You look at what George achieved against the likes of Lewis Hamilton. If you spoke to anyone coming into this season, it felt like it was a bit game, set, match for George. And if Kimi can just sort of keep improving and live with George a little bit, get results every now and then that would be great. And yeah, we're looking at him now, 4 wins in a row. It's incredible, to be honest. And he's been super composed all weekend. He's been tested in many ways, emotionally, in the car, to push himself to another level, and I think he's risen to every single one of those occasions. Yes, he's going to make mistakes at some point this year, but he's been so impressive. I would be worried about him if I was George.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's got a mentor in Lewis Hamilton too. Those two clearly getting on, and I think Lewis has been enjoying seeing the teenager come into this year.
Yeah, he has, and like I was just watching those photos of the podium with Kimi and Lewis, and he must be pinching himself, right? Because he's come in as a young gun, locking up to Lewis. You know, he openly said locking up to Lewis, and then suddenly you've got Lewis Hamilton lifting you up. Yeah. You know, and that must feel like, wow, I've made it. You know, that must feel like a real moment for him.
Also, I mean, you're on the top step of the podium. You've got Lewis there with 7 titles. You've got Max there with 4 titles. That is a pinch yourself moment, isn't it?
Insane. And if you look at that podium, yeah, it's actually quite a nice podium. Max finally getting a good result in this new car that he has, even if he doesn't sound thrilled about it. And Lewis, I think, a phenomenal race this weekend. So, yeah, very happy podium.
Thanks to everybody at home for watching. I'm not sure George particularly enjoyed this afternoon, but the other half of the garage in Kimi Antonelli definitely did. Ted's race notebook is next, and we'll be back in a fortnight's time from Monaco. We'll see you then. From Zor here. Bye-bye.